Hello, and welcome to Renegade Files Short Drives number 1, The Flatwoods Monster. I'm your host, Lex Gordon, coming to you from the Jungle Villa Outpost deep in the uncharted tropics. This summer, Renegade Files is bringing you a new series of 25-minute-long episodes called Short Drives. These episodes will be released every Friday in June, July, and August, in addition to our longer biweekly main episodes. This series of 13 episodes will look into fascinating, paranormal, or strange stories that are presented in punchy, concise formats with minimal production, quick intros, and brief sign-offs. The Renegade Files Short Drives episodes do not and will not replace the normal shows. Think of these Renegade Files Short Drives as presents to you for being a fan of the show. These are extra content. Be sure to check back every Friday for the whole summer to catch all of the Renegade Files Short Drives. If you like them, share them with your crazy friends. And thank you for being a part of the Renegade Files crew. This is the first episode in the Short Drives series. You are now in the company of outcasts. Welcome and enjoy. Come with me now as we get into Renegade Files Short Drives number 1, The Flatwoods Monster. The Flatwoods Monster, also called the Green Monster, or Braxy, after Braxton County, where the sightings occurred, has become a mascot for the paranormal in a small West Virginia town. At 7:15 p.m. on September 12, 1952, in the small town of Flatwoods, West Virginia, two teenage brothers, Edward and Fred May, and their friend Tommy Heiner, were horsing around outside. In the darkening sky, they saw a bright light streak overhead and seemed to land in the nearby field of farmer G. Bailey Fisher. The boys described the object as glowing red and said that it slowed as it neared the ground, indicating not a meteor, but an object making a controlled landing. The people in this area were used to strange occurrences, with the famous Mothman sightings taking place just 25 miles away several years before. The boys ran to the brothers' house and told their mom what they had seen. The excitability of the kids convinced the mother that they had truly seen something unusual, so she called her friend and neighbor, Eugene Lemon, who was a National Guardsman, to come with them. They also took the family dog and Eugene Lemon's young friends, Neil Nunley and Ronnie Shaver. With a few flashlights in hand, this group of 7, plus the leashed dog, set out for the location the boys described as the spot where they had seen the object land. The farmer's field, just beyond a row of trees. As they crested a small hill in the tree line, they looked down into a clearing and saw an egg-shaped craft resting at an angle on the clearing floor. All 7 of them described the same thing. An egg-shaped object emitting a deep red glow and surrounded by green fog that seemed to be steaming out from somewhere deep within the craft. The green mist clung to the ground as it flooded out into the clearing. The dog pulled free from the person holding the leash and ran toward the object, barking, but seemed to be adversely affected by the green haze, turning back with a whimper and running all the way back home. The group heard a hissing in the trees above them, and Eugene aimed his flashlight toward the sound above. The hissing stopped, but what the group saw terrified them. A human-like figure, 10 feet tall, also seemingly emitting this same green mist as the craft below. The creature hovered in midair. It wore a deep green robe that flared out like a dress toward the bottom. The garment formed a spade-shaped, standing hood behind and above the creature's deep red face. It had long arms and hands with long, spindly, talon-like claws. The creature peered up through the treetops, and 2 beams of red light shone forth from its eyes into the heavens and seemed to scan an area of the night sky. This creature then turned its gaze toward the group, and they were investigated by the sweeping red beams. Once again, the creature hissed, then began to slowly float towards them. Green mist swirled and trailed behind it. Its talon-like hands reached out in their direction. Eugene Lemon screamed and turned to run first, and the others followed. They ran the entire way back to the May homestead. Then the group experienced dizziness and nausea, and the dog seemed sick as well, cowering and whimpering in the corner. The mother called the state police, who came out, took their report, and then headed into the woods themselves. They followed the directions to the location the group had described. 30 minutes later, the police returned, saying that there was no craft and no creature located in or around that location. The police statements were somehow released to the press, and the story became the talk of local news. The story quickly spread, and Kathleen May and Eugene Lemon were interviewed on national television. After the story broke, 2 girls, Audra Harper and her friend, reported that they had been walking from one of their homes to the other just past nightfall a few weeks earlier in a town very near Flatwoods, when they too had seen a large oval-shaped craft, glowing red, and landing on a grassy hill. While they watched the craft land, they heard something in the brush and turned to see a 10-foot-tall creature with glowing red eyes and long claw hands staring at them from the tree line. It wore what they described as a green dress and had a pointed hood over its head. The girls ran home, and there they got in trouble for being out alone after dark. Also, a young married couple, George and Edith Snintowski, were driving just outside of Flatwoods on a dark country road at night, just one day after what would have been the May family encounter. As they drove with their young son along Route 4, their car engine inexplicably died. George shifted the car into neutral and coasted to a stop on the dark road. He tried to restart the vehicle, but it would not crank. So he opened the hood and got out to see if he could find the cause. As he stood at the opened hood, the car was lit up by a bright light from overhead. He then smelled sulfur and saw a green mist begin to surround him from behind. He turned to see a 10-foot-tall figure on the road, slim and cloaked, hissing. George closed the hood and jumped back inside the car, locking the doors and watching as a creature that he described as reptilian floated toward the car and placed its long, claw-like hands on the hood. It stared at the occupants of the car as they watched in horror, its face red, its eyes glowing, hooded and inhuman. After about a minute, the creature turned and floated away down the road in front of the car, and the glowing light from above vanished with it. On its own, the car engine sputtered back on, and the couple drove away. Other stories arose over the years, and the people at the May encounter always stuck to their accounts. Some describe the creature as being at least partly robotic. Others have its size at various heights, ranging from 6 to 10 feet, but most agree that it's larger than the average man. Skeptic Joe Nickel put forth the idea that what these people were all seeing was actually a barn owl. This seems ridiculous, especially when you have a group of 7, including a sober mother and a National Guardsman, describing it as 10 feet tall, with a red face, red eyes, talon hands, and wearing a green cloak with a spade-shaped hood, and floating over a red oval-shaped craft surrounded by green smoke. How do you get all that from an owl? It should also be noted that this same skeptic, Joe Nickel, also said that both Mothman and the Kelly Hopkinsville creatures were both owls. Regardless of what was seen on those nights in the West Virginia woods, the town of Flatwoods has embraced this paranormal event as their own. Officials in Flatwoods erected a welcome sign which designated the town as the home of the Green Monster. The town also commemorates the legend in its own Flatwoods Days Festival. The Flatwoods Monster Museum is located in the nearby town of Sutton. The Braxton County Convention and Visitors Bureau has built a series of 5 tall chairs in the shape of the monster to serve as landmarks and visitor attractions. If you get your picture taken seated in all 5 of the chairs, the Visitors Bureau will give you a few stickers that say, "Free Braxy." Years later, it was discovered by paranormal researchers that the military had been dispatched to the area following the Mays encounter, and they had found metal fragments and oily residue, which they collected on orders. The fragments and residue were packaged and sent to Washington by Captain Dale. This discovery has caused some to believe that the government was involved in a cover-up of the events that coincided with the sightings of both the Flatwoods Monster and his oval UFO. So at this exact same time of the Flatwoods Monster sightings, September 1952, there was a string of UFO reports that stretched all along the east coast of the U.S. In a response to these reports, the Air Force deployed an F-94 Starfire from Tampa, Florida, to fly a patrol in search of aircrafts of unknown origin. And this is down in my neck of the woods, as pilots John Jones Jr. and John Del Curdo arrived at the edge of their patrol area. Their F-94 aircraft suddenly vanished from radar. The plane was never officially found, and questions from the men's families went unanswered. The mission was then quietly scrubbed from all Air Force records. So those are the main stories surrounding the Flatwoods Monster. This is a weird one for 2 reasons. First of all, the descriptions of the creature are so bizarre. A 10-foot creature, maybe a cyborg type, part robot, part organic life form, possibly reptilian, wearing a green dress, or armor shaped like a dress, with a spade-shaped hood behind a red face. The other thing is the consistency among a diverse group of witnesses. They all describe about the same thing. 3 of the kids at the initial May family encounter drew their own sketches of what they saw, and they are remarkably similar. Much like the similar sketches drawn by the kids at the Ariel School. We covered that in Renegade Files episode 8, the Ariel School Alien Encounter. You can see the Ariel School drawings and the drawings the kids made of the Flatwoods monster in the Renegade Files agency on Patreon, link in the show notes, and you can try it totally free for a week, so check it out. So the Flatwoods monster is weird because it's so different than any other sighting of aliens or cryptids. This thing is one of a kind, and many people saw it. Another strange thing is that this happened over the course of a few weeks, then no one ever saw the thing again. Unlike Bigfoot or aliens, people have not periodically seen the Flatwoods monster over the years. And the debunking ideas are just kind of silly. At least 11 different people on 3 different occasions mistook an owl for a 10-foot-tall monster in a dress. That's crazier than the sighting itself. The website, ahauntedplace.com, gives us a list of things to do if you see the Flatwoods monster. Let's read a little bit from their site because it's kind of cool. What do I do if I see the Flatwoods monster? If you believe you've encountered the Flatwoods monster or any other unidentified creature, your safety and well-being should always come first. Here's a general guideline on what you might consider doing. 1. Stay calm and safe. First and foremost, prioritize your safety. Avoid approaching the creature or provoking it. It's always wise to maintain a safe distance from any unfamiliar or potentially dangerous entity. Number 2, document the encounter. If it's safe to do so, try to take photos or record video footage of the creature. Ensure that you capture as much detail as possible without jeopardizing your safety. Number 3, take notes. As soon as you're safely away from the location, write down or record a verbal account of everything you remember about the encounter, including the creature's appearance, behavior, sounds, smells, time, location, and any other observations. Number 4, avoid touching anything. If there are physical traces left behind by the creature or any associated phenomena, like the reported pungent mist in the original Flatwoods sighting, avoid touching or disturbing them. They could be potential evidence, or in some cases, might pose health risks. Number 5, notify the authorities. If you believe there's an immediate threat to the community, or you've found something that warrants investigation, contact local authorities, park rangers, or wildlife experts. Number 6, consult cryptozoology researchers. If you're convinced that what you've seen isn't an ordinary animal or an explainable phenomenon, consider reaching out to cryptozoology researchers or organizations that specialize in studying unexplained creature sightings. They might offer insights or be interested in investigating further. Number 7, stay skeptical and open-minded. It's important to approach the situation with both curiosity and skepticism. There are many instances where unfamiliar animals, optical illusions, or other phenomena have been mistaken for cryptids. Number 8, respect privacy. If the sighting occurs on private property or in a restricted area, make sure to respect property boundaries and get the necessary permissions before attempting any investigation or revisiting the site. Number 9, protect your privacy. If you decide to share your experience publicly, be prepared for both skepticism and interest. Not everyone will believe your account, and some might be overly eager or even intrusive. Determine in advance how much personal information you're comfortable with sharing. And number 10, join the Renegade Files Patreon page and tell the other RFA agents about your sightings in a comment there. Okay, I added that last one, but just do it if you want extra Renegade Files content, and I'll see you in there. So once again, that list is really cool. It's pretty good advice, I would say, and it comes from ahauntedplace.com. Thank you sincerely for investigating Renegade Files Short Drives number 1, The Flatwoods Monster, with me. This summer, Renegade Files is bringing you this new series of 25-minute episodes called Short Drives. These episodes will be every Friday in June, July, and August, in addition to our longer main episodes. This series of 13 episodes will look into fascinating paranormal or strange stories that are presented in punchy, concise formats with minimal production, quick intros, and brief sign-offs. The Renegade Files Short Drives do not and will not replace the normal shows. Think of these Renegade Files Short Drives as presents to you for being a fan of the show. These are extra content. Be sure to check back every Friday for the whole summer to catch all the Renegade Files Short Drives. If you liked this quick short drive episode, share it with your crazy friends, and thank you for being a part of the Renegade Files crew. If you're new to the show, be sure to check out our main Renegade Files episodes, which are longer, come out twice a month, and are deep dives into esoteric subjects where logic clashes with the official narratives. Jump on our Patreon page for more bonus episodes and to help me keep making these shows for you. You can check out the RFA Agency on Patreon for a whole week for free, and I'll see you in there at patreon.com/renegadefiles. A link in the show notes, and thank you. I'm your host, Lex Gordon. Stay wild, monster child.